All right, well, as well as the dress, women all over the world are very keen to know exactly on how Meghan will be doing her hair.
Yeah, is she going to put it up? Is she going to put it down?
Is it going to be half up, half down?
Does she do a fro? Does she do something sort of, I don't know, different? Joining us now, our royal hairstylist, Daniel Galvin, and his son, Daniel Galvin JNR. Big round of applause for these two, everyone. Yes. Big welcome from the Aussies here. Daniel, you were Princess Diana's hairdresser.
That's correct, yeah.
Had some iconic haircuts. What was she like to work with?
She was absolutely amazing. She was like a breath of fresh air. I think the most incredible thing was that when she used to come in the salon, she didn't want to sit in the private room. She wanted to sit down amongst all the other people. Absolutely a breath of fresh air.
And what are some of your fondest memories of her? There must be so many over 10 years.
Well, I think the two things I remember mostly is the first day I met her, and I was terrified. And what I remember most, she always used to tell me off for being so brown. She never used to go in the sun. And that weekend, when the bad thing happened, she actually had just come back from France, and she came in the salon, had her colour done, and then she went back on the Saturday. But just as she left the salon, she said, "Daniel, I can't believe it. This is going to be the first time I'm browner than you." That was quite amazing.
Do you know, over the course of this week, I've spoken to quite a few people who had first-hand contact with the late Diana, and every one of them have spoken of this charisma and this absolute beauty. She apparently just had exquisite blue eyes and beautiful complexion, and she would absolutely just light up a room.
She would. It was absolutely amazing, and she used to insist on coming to the salon. She didn't want anything done privately, as I mentioned. And you know, we have a saying that when it comes to hair, a lady's hair is their ultimate beauty asset. You talk about her eyes, and the thing is that when you have almost the perfect hair colour, the first thing people should notice is the eyes and the skin, not the hair colour.
Yes.
But when they've got the wrong hair colour, the first thing you notice is the hair colour.
I loved her cuts, her shorter cuts, especially as she got a little bit older. I just thought they were fantastic. She started coming into her own, and her hair was copied, obviously, around the world as well.
Yeah, and I obviously put that down. So a great stylist I had working for me at the time, Sam McKnight.
Yeah.
He's renowned worldwide as being one of the top session workers.
Yeah, right. Well, Daniel Jr., let's move on to you as well. Meghan, do you think that we mentioned some of the options for her in the intro, according to experts such as myself? What do you think she'll do?
Well, I think there were good suggestions, and I think that she will encompass all of them, actually. I think, of course, that you know, all the rage, and her trademark is the Meghan wave, which everybody's going crazy about. Do you
think she'll wear her hair out or up?
Well, I think she's going to be half up, half down.
What does that mean?
She will have it, well, half
That's six of one, half a dozen of the other.
Okay. That's what Kate did.
Well, you've got short hair, so you probably wouldn't understand that. You wear your hair half up, half down, meaning taking it up from the sides, leaving a bit of the Meghan wave around her face, a bit of height on the crown.
A bit of height.
And I think, a bit of height on the crown. And I think she really is going to be a radiant jewel in our crown this weekend, and you know, we're really excited, and she will look absolutely beautiful as always.
And she has got, from obviously only looking at pictures, but looks to have beautiful thick hair that you could have a lot of fun with.
Oh, and it shines like glass, and you know, it really is going to be her crowning glory this weekend, and that, with the dress, everybody will find that out the moment she walks out.
What will, and this is the burning question from men around the world, what will Harry do with his hair?
Well, I think Harry's going to be Harry.
A little bit more challenged?
Yeah, I think he's...
Pippa Middleton, let's get on to your forehand. Pippa Middleton's entire wedding party. I mean, what was that like?
Oh, that was great. It was a real privilege and an honour to do it. And we went to look after, a private function to look after her and 20 of her friends for her hen party. And they were all absolutely delightful. I had 5 stylists there. We had to get them in and out within 2 hours, 20 of them. So you can imagine there was smoke coming off the hair dryers, and I was there for quality control. Obviously, and every single one of them looked immaculate and, looked amazing. Yeah. I was absolutely delighted.
You'll be doing a few people for this Saturday, for the big wedding?
Yes, I'd like to think so. My stylist, Anthony Ford, looks after a number of the royals for me, as I do. Of course, being a hair colourist, that's all done before the event, and hopefully Anthony will be looking after them on the day, getting them, royal ready.
Can you tell us who? Can you drop a few names?
Come on.
Well, it's all in the, it's all client confidentiality, but they're all in the media.
No one's watching.
Well, it's stuff that's already been in the press, I suppose. You've Jeannie and the mum and a number of other royals that come to our salon, which we are,
awesome.
very, very sort of confidential and discreet about, as you know.
Listen to this. I wanted to ask you, after all that time with Diana, and the fact that she's not here for Harry's wedding.
I know.
How does that kind of sit with you? Are you excited for Harry?
I'm so excited for Harry. It's when I look back, it was the most incredible gift being allowed to do her hair when she was going to be our future queen. And the thing I think was saddest of all was seeing Harry walk behind the coffin when I was at the funeral when he was like 9 years of age. So, God, I bet she's looking down on him. Really, I can't wish him more happiness for what he's been through.
Yeah, there's been a lot of sadness.
A lot of sadness.
But you look at him now, and obviously when you live your life in front of the world's media, they catch everything. We caught him with moments of happiness through his life, but now whenever you see him with her, there is just pure happiness.
So much happiness, His eyes light up. He's obviously
found
his princess.
Yeah.
And, it's absolutely great to see him happy after what he's been through in his life.
Yeah.
So much unhappiness, so much grief,
and I think that's why there's so much goodwill, isn't there, about this Saturday. Hey, before we go, Daniel, you're very involved with Prince Charles's organisation, the Prince's Trust.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, I've been an ambassador and a patron to his trust for some 20-odd years now. So, spent a lot of time up at Highgrove, sort of picking various herbs and plants for various products that we develop for Highgrove. As an ambassador, we also come down to the other side of the world, down under in Australia, and we sell our products Double Trouble here to Woolworths, sold nationwide, and we make a percentage sold per unit to the Prince's Trust International, which goes to the Great Barrier Reef, which is helping to save the endangered species, the turtles. So the products are organic, they're for kids. So the motto is they are good, they feel good, they do good.
Anyone that helps the reef out is a good person in our mind. Thank you so much for being with us today. It's a real pleasure to meet you. Well, just before we go, one final tip. There'll be people getting married all around the world this weekend as well on the same day.
Yes.
What's the perfect wedding hair?
Perfect wedding hair. Personally, myself, as I mentioned earlier, hair is the lady's ultimate beauty asset. And I believe that hair was put there as not necessarily as a beauty asset, but we can make hair look more beautiful, however little it might be, to make hair more beautiful than nature ever intended.
Well said.
You have such beautiful
And the colour
hair.
is everything.
You have beautiful hair.
Thank you.
both
It's all
do.
mine.
I can't say the same. Thank you, guys. Nice to see you all.
Pleasure. Thank you very
Lovely
much.
to meet you.
Now a bit of free advice for Meghan Markle's dad.